Welcome to the holiday issue. Welcome to the eights during the
You're going to offend anyone if you say anything about the holidays, so.
This is the eight. Hey, everybody out there, it's Friday. You want to say anything about Fridays?
Yay.
Yay!
I would agree with that.
So originally I had in the script that we're going to talk about what is Chrismukkah. Do you know what Chrismukkah is?
I don't.
Do you know where it came from?
I believe it was an episode of The OC.
Yes! Thank you, OC. You left us with one great memory. That and Marissa?
Marissa Cooper.
See, I was pretty good with that one. I even remember that. I watched the first season. Did you?
I did, the first two, then I dropped off.
Did you?
Absolutely not.
Sorry to everybody that's out there that has no idea what we're talking about, but Merry Chrismukkah.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, I guess we're going to offend anyone. All right, let's get this started. Number 8, The Buzz. Oh, Megan, don't miss your cue. We're going to talk about the young entrepreneur issue. And Megan, I'm going to go to you with this. Tell us a little bit about what's going on in our current issue.
Yeah, so we kicked off our young entrepreneur issue December 15th. Basically, we're just featuring a handful of, you guessed it, young entrepreneurs who are doing really incredible things in their various industries. A lot of them are emerging and new, so there's a good chance you haven't heard of them. So it's a really great opportunity to kind of showcase a lot of these untold stories that you wouldn't normally hear. One of the ones that I enjoy in particular is a guy named Michael Johnston who founded AudioTree, which he kind of founded this as a need to combat the major record labels. He found that there is a need for local young musicians to get noticed, because if you don't have that big record deal, chances are you're not going to get out there. And so his goal was to create this music discovery platform, and through it, a lot of these really young bands have found their voice.
Yeah, and we're sharing with you entrepreneur stories, not just in franchising, which is the primary focus of 1851, but outside, because their entrepreneurial stories are just as inspiring as those within franchising. And at the end of the day, we're all small business owners, or we're featuring all small business owners. So it was good, and Megan and Cassie came up with the idea to say, let's diversify our content and share with you some other great stories that exist out there. So hopefully you, our reader, are enjoying our current issue. Number 7, our brand of the week this week is Great Clips. On their site, which is greatclips.1851franchise.com. You'll see an MSNBC interview with their CEO, Rhonda Olson, Kissick family growing with the brand, the opening of their 4,000th location, and an annual convention recap. Cassie, just tell us a little bit about that brand and some of the things you like about working with them.
What I think is really exciting about Great Clips is, for a brand that has 4,000 plus locations, they're still finding ways to open up in new territories. There are still opportunities across the country for franchisees looking to get involved with the brand to grow. And that's something that's really unique for a brand on that scale. They're still working with their franchisees as a corporate team. They're really invested in the brand on the ground level, and having that access is really special as a franchisee.
Yeah, it's cool. So there goes. We're doing entrepreneur stories that relate back to more of a general audience, now back to franchisees, them being entrepreneurs in their own right, and you can read some of the stories on their site. Let's go to the people story. And Cassie, I'm going to stay with you. Tell us a little bit about Lindsay Lewis, who's one of our features from the previous week in our Young Entrepreneur issue.
Lindsay Lewis started her own jewelry company called, again, you guessed it, Lindsay Lewis Designs. I thought that it was really interesting to talk to her because the first thing that she said is, I was really interested in metal smithing right off the bat, which isn't something that I've ever heard in this day and age. So just to see her kind of take that idea, create her own company, and really decide to run with it on her own. She's now in dozens of stores across the country. She has a location in Australia even selling her designs. So it just goes to show that if you have an idea and you're willing to kind of put in that work, you can achieve anything.
That's right. So for the two of you, you're interviewing all of these entrepreneurs that are outside of franchising currently. Have any of them discussed becoming a franchisor? Is that even in their mindset, or are these businesses so far removed from franchising? Or do you guys see potential in any of the brands that you're interviewing about them expanding to be a franchise, Megan?
Franchising hasn't really come up. I think a lot of these people are just at the very beginning, but it certainly seems that as they continue to try to scale their business, that they're, as entrepreneurs, they're business savvy, and they realize that franchising would be a really great avenue for them to go down when the time comes.
Okay, Cassie?
I agree. It seems that people haven't really considered it yet, but it's definitely going to be a viable option for companies that are considering growing both, across the country and internationally.
Yeah, it seems like the cool thing about these stories is all of the brands that we're featuring could actually become franchises. Just this week, I was talking to a brand, a non-franchise currently, that sells trampolines and play sets in the backyard. So something that you might not consider to be a franchise opportunity could very easily become a franchise opportunity. So it's neat to create an intersection between traditional brands that are just truly entrepreneurial and brands that started being entrepreneurial and turned into franchising. And I think you'll see that in our current issue. From our profits section this week, Work Capital acquired another brand, this time Express Lube. I would imagine this trend continues into next year. Private equity firms seem very hot on finding great franchise brands to add to their portfolio. So if you're a franchisor out there and you're thinking about when is the right time for potential exit, perhaps looking at an Express Lube or looking at one of the brands that was acquired in the previous year. We've covered Fuzzy's Tacos, we've covered Frisch's, which were both acquired by NRD Capital. Maybe there are brands that you should reach out to and talk to about what would be the best practices in preparing your brand to be sold to private equity. In our plan section, we have a story that says minimum wage hikes are going up. The story reads, as January 2017, states across the United States are raising minimum wage rates in varying degrees, reports CNN. While some states are making minor increases, like an extra nickel or dime per hour, many will increase between $1 and $2 per hour. This is going to continue to stay a hot topic for franchise brands out there. Various opinions. Obviously, some of the structure in the new cabinets that will come under the new president might be more business friendly. So the thing about minimum wage that continues to be the discussion, it's not whether it should happen, because we should be increasing the raises or the wages that we pay those that are bottom moving up. However, it's how do we structure this so it's fair for business? One of the things that continues to be a conversation between IFA and those that are in the political world is let's educate that a franchisee has a royalty that comes out. So 5 cents of every dollar comes out, just that goes back to the franchisor. Many have 2 to 5% that come out for marketing. So now that's 10 cents out of every dollar that goes to the franchisor. And then there's various other expenses that could go back to the franchisor just purely for operating the license or the trademark of the franchise brand. Therefore, when you increase these wages, it ultimately has impact in areas that might not be well educated out there to the general public. I think it's just an education thing that has to continue to happen. So it's a conversation that has to be a two-way street versus one having an opinion, let's raise wages, without understanding how the business owner operates their business. There needs to be adjustments. Ultimately, if there's too much change for the business owner, it's going to reflect back on the customer. They're going to increase the prices for the customer, which will create a whirlwind of potential damage. So I think pure education in an administration that could be business focused, perhaps one of the good that could come out of this is just a conversation that happens among everybody that would be a part of this decision process. So that was one of the stories that we covered this week. Another one, which I found interesting, I want both of your opinions on this, just great brands struggling through some trying times. We have a story about GNC, and part of the story is within the media section, with a 58% decrease in stock price and a $2.25 million fine for selling illegal dietary supplements this year. GNC is going to need to take a turn to turn things around in 2017. According to a recent Fox Business article, the company's comeback strategy includes its first ever Super Bowl ad and store makeovers. Although Super Bowl ads come at a high price, the company believes it will be well worth the cost and that it is the best way to drive returns. By spending possibly more than $5 million, it will be the highest asking price for a 30-second ad spot during the Super Bowl. Is this the right answer, Megan? Should GNC be spending $5 million to reshape the image of their brand? Or does that seem like a little bit too much money for what they're hoping comes out of it?
I mean, that seems like a lot of money to me. But then again, don't have that much money that I would not shell out that much. But okay, great. I think GNC is a brand that's been around for a while, and it seems to have a loyal following. I think that they would be able to make a comeback based on that following that they already have. I don't think that this is really going to change that much. I think their fan base is already there, and I'm sure a lot of them were buying illegal dietary supplements to begin with. So,
I mean, I would buy illegal dietary supplements if it made me thinner. So, hey, Cassie, any thoughts? Not on that.
I agree with Megan that, you know, they have this following that's going to be loyal no matter what. While 5 million it seems excessive. I don't think that GNC, I know that GNC wouldn't be the first brand that's trying to make a comeback via Super Bowl ad. Some people have pulled it off before. For some reason, the only example that's coming to me is Steve Harvey last year. That was his comeback shot. So I think it'll be interesting to see if they actually create a worthwhile ad and the kind of traffic that it's going to have back to their website stores, or if it's just going to be an ad that everyone forgets about.
So what you're saying is GNC should hire Steve Harvey to read the wrong answer in their 30-second commercial.
Yes.
There you go, GNC. Hey, Nick at nolimitagency.com. If you're looking for a great PR firm, GNC, we're here. We're here to help you. And we'll do it for less than $5 million, and we'll get you more than 30 seconds of coverage. And for the record, I do not have $5 million in my wallet. I think I have like $16. So that was a prop. Lastly, our thought of the week. We'll give 3 tips. Each of us will give a tip for not killing your family during the season of joy. Megan, let's start with you.
wow, I think booze is key for that. I mean, I think any of us would agree. If you keep the entire family boozed up, everyone's going to get along.
I really hope your family watches that. All right, Cassie?
Honestly, I was going to say wine, so booze as well has to be my tip.
Look, just get along. Say I love you. Let's go the half full route. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. I love you. And chances are, because this video is now taking 15 minutes, you're not even watching me say this. But there, I said it on camera. All right, lastly, and in closing, almost good night Christmas music. Christmas music, good or bad, Megan?
As long as it's not Michael Bublé, I'm totally into it.
Okay, Cassie has Michael Bublé tattooed on her wrist. I don't even know what that was. All right, Cassie.
Christmas music is the best.
You know what? I agree with her. We're going to be the 7 next week. Anyway, have a wonderful, merry holiday, whatever you celebrate. Thanks for watching the 8. We appreciate you being one of our viewers. Take care.